Hello guys, GPD here with another video. Today we are back on Wuchang Fallen Feathers with a cool new build that is going to make the game much easier and much more enjoyable for you. Like every other Souls-like, Wuchang has quite a few nice builds that excel at different areas of the game and in different encounters. The build we are doing today is a magic-based build meant for taking down large enemies in a heartbeat. While it is primarily meant for overcoming certain boss encounters, you can use it through the whole game if you like playing around with magic. And yes, while it is not my first choice for the majority of the game, it is a fun build to play around, and it is a cheat when it comes to taking down large enemies like the Fierce Tiger and the Reborn Dragon Emperor. Before we get further into the build, I just want to take the opportunity and thank you all for tuning into the channel. Making these videos and building a channel is not easy by any means, but your support makes it worth every second. If you like what I'm doing here, keep coming back, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and help me reach my first goal of 1000 subscribers. Without further ado, let's get back to the build. Like I've said before, this build is mainly there to help you cheese those big bosses that can feel like a roadblock. Before we get any further, I do have to underscore that this build is a new game plus build, and therefore it's not optimized for your first playthrough. So for all of you that are not done with your first trip through the game, this is probably the time to click off. While this build can be tweaked to function in your first playthrough, I really don't want to be wasting your time on something that is not going to help you that much. The weapon of choice for this build is going to be the Astral Blade. The reason we choose this weapon is that it comes with the effect of making your spells much more potent when you use Temperance to buff them, which is going to be extremely important if you want to get the most out of the build. It also comes with a level 5 magic scaling if you ever need to cut your enemies. You probably know this, but you already have this weapon in your inventory since you get this upon defeating the Blightweaver Great Centipede, which is a non-optional boss. Like I've said in my previous guide, armor in this game is extremely circumstantial since each boss deals a specific type of damage and each zone has their own threats. Since the build is focused on big bosses, my recommendation would be the Ming armor set because it offers good defense against blunt weapons, and most of those meatball bosses are going to deal blunt damage to you. But I do have to underscore the importance of choosing the right armor set for each zone and each encounter, since equipping the right armor will have a big impact on how you play the game. I personally like to go into a fight sword swinging and completely disregarding any incoming damage, and picking the right armor can make that much easier. Pendants are a huge factor in this game. Whether it is damage output or mitigation, the game offers an abundance of pendants that will cover you in every aspect of the game. As this build is all about dealing the most damage in the shortest amount of time, we will be focusing on the pendants that boost your damage the most. The 3 best pendants for this build are the Tigreless Pendant, the Fiend Felling Pendant, and the Sun Pendant. The Tigreless Pendant is obtained from the White-Robed Elder upon defeating the Bow Sorceress. This pendant can easily be missed since the content around it is extremely optional, and even after you have defeated the Bow Sorceress, you will have to go back to the tomb and talk to the Elder, at which point he will give the pendant to you. The next item on our list is the Fiend Felling Pendant. Its perk is to increase your damage against large enemies. This item can be purchased from Tao Qing for 3000 red mercury after handing in the item that you get after defeating Lu Honglu at the Shu Sanctum. The last pendant for our build is the Sun Pendant. This is an item that you get towards the end of the game, and like the Tigreless Pendant, can easily be missed if you don't pay attention to it. Once you equip it, it will increase the potency of your spells, regardless of any other factors. It is located along your path to facing the Bow Magus and protected by a large bird enemy. I actually missed this on my first playthrough because I chose a completely different path and never even got to that area. it is time to talk about our main method of delivering some spine-breaking damage to our enemies. And the method of doing that in this build is with some juicy spells. This wouldn't be a true magic build if we didn't have some proper spells to set our enemies on fire. Most of the time, quite literally. The first spell we're going to equip is Echo of the Bow Magus. This is a spell that you get after defeating the Bow Magus, a boss located towards the end of the game, and which also can be the end boss depending on the choices you make through your playthrough. I do have to mention that you can defeat the Bow Magus without triggering the ending, and you do that by refusing to help the storyteller when he asks for your assistance at the Enelum Shrine during Chapter 4, then proceeding to fight and defeat her normally. I know that because I managed to screw up that ending twice. Somehow, no matter what I do, I always end up in a jar. But back to the subject at hand. While this spell is not essential by any means, I would encourage you to get it since it adds an extra layer of protection against getting one-shot. The second spell that we need to talk about is the Lotus Soul Flame. This spell is the main source of our damage against large enemies. After one cast, it will annihilate 2/3 of the enemy's health bar, in most cases even one-shotting them. It hits so hard that while I was testing the build, I managed to kill the last boss by mistake, after equipping the wrong pendants, the wrong armor, and playing like I wanted to die on purpose. It is located at Mount Zenwu, close to the Battlefield Path Shrine. Once you're at the shrine, just follow this path, and you will find it lying by a corpse. For the last two spells, you can choose whatever suits your playstyle the best. I chose to go with Burning Flames and Infernal Flames since they go good with the burn build-up Lotus Soul Flame provides, and they deal a nice amount of damage. After everything is said and done with our spells and armor, it is time to do some acupuncture. Temperance in this build is pretty straightforward. The obvious choice when it comes to bone needles is magic, as it will increase the damage we do with our spells. The next one we want to stick in our arm is the Continuity Needle. This one will make our Temperance buff last longer. You get this one after defeating the Nightmare Demon in Worship's Rise. Like with most things in this build, it is located towards the end of the game and pretty hard to miss. The third needle we want is the Shadow Stone Magic Needle. The way you get this is by defeating the inner demon located near the Cloud Spire Outskirts Shrine. For the fourth needle we are going to use the Plum Stone Needle Temper, which will increase the attack power gained from our tempering. You can get this one after defeating the inner demon in the demon manifest location near the refugee camp at Mount Zenwu. As for the last needle, that's really up to you. Choose whatever you like best, preferably something that goes well with your secondary weapon. When it comes to benedictions, the best ones for this build, and actually in the whole game, are the Disciplinary 4 Stones. They will increase your damage after acquiring 3, 6 and 9 disciplinary skills, and on top of that, after you equip all 3 of them, you will get an additional damage boost for owning 12 disciplinary skills. You can check how many skills you have on the last page of your inventory menu. Quick disclaimer here, the first skills you unlock for each skill tree count as disciplinary skills even though they don't show up in your inventory. The only thing left to do is to unlock 6 more skills, which honestly is easy enough and you are good to go. You can buy the first 2 disciplinary stones from Wuchang at his shop, and the last one is obtained from a friendly panda merchant for 5 bamboo shots. There are no particular skills that we need to focus on in this build, as spells are our main way of dealing damage, and there are no skills that are going to make an impact of your damage output or combat performance. I will not take away more of your time by trying to min-max the build, as it would defeat the purpose of it being simply to play with. The way this build plays is extremely simple. Before you enter the boss room, you use Echoes of the Bow Magus and your Temperance. Enter the boss room, accumulate 5 stacks of Skyborn Might, hug the boss and use Soul Flame Lotus. If you hit with all projectiles, the boss will almost certainly going to die, and if not, the least you are going to do is break him, allowing you for another chance to stack up 5 Skyborn Might and cast the spell again. While this build wasn't my first choice for the majority of the game, it is the best possible build to deal with large enemies in New Game Plus. It didn't fit in my preferred playstyle in the open world, as it required me to be a bit more careful and I don't roll that way. My style is going through the wall head first. However, that doesn't mean it can work against every other boss or enemy in the open world. With the proper spells, you will certainly have enough damage to one-shot almost every enemy and kill every boss the game throws at you. That's it for this one, guys. If you want to support the channel and if you want more content like this, hit that subscribe button and drop a thumbs up. Thanks again and see you in the next one.